So when it comes to craft cocktail competitions, at the end of the day, we all know we have our own individual palates, but we're also preparing cocktails for other people. So you have to really get into the psychology of the people who are going to be consuming it. And we have our judges. These are educated consumers as you would, industry leaders. You know, they have a more sophisticated palate. So you can give them some allure, some Fernet, they probably get away with it. But then we also have the consumers coming in. So you also got to make sure, like, oh, is it going to be primarily women? What's the Houston demographic? Who's going to be coming out on a Wednesday? All those things factor into it, as well as your own self. How are you going to be presenting? And so today I have 3 judges who I've had a chance to watch compete. And honestly, I've learned a lot from watching them compete. They all pull out secret moves. I mean, they also have ways that they play defense, figuring out what somebody else is going to make and making sure you do something beyond what that person's going to do based off what they're doing. So all these different things factor. There's a whole psychological game to it. So I'll let them come up. They'll explain what they've done, what they're good at. And then from there, hopefully you guys can take that and become, you know what I'm saying, a weapon. If not this competition in the future. Dustin, Tia, Adrian, let me get you guys up here real quick. First off, do introductions. Who are you? Where you work? What's your industry experience?
I forgot I had a job. My name is Tia. I work at Garden Grace downtown. It is a 2-story building. It's absolutely huge. It's absolutely gorgeous. I've been there for almost 4 years now. I have done the craft clash. I've done speed rails. I love being involved with our community. And I love just like getting to meet new people and putting yourself out there, and doing these experiences have just like been so beneficial to myself and my own personal career. So when I did Craft Clash, I did it with one of my fellow colleagues. We did a cocktail called Everything in S'more, and our spirit was from Iron Wolf, and it was a bourbon. So we made our own chocolate mole syrup to go with that. We had our own marshmallow fluff that we put as a topper. We had a graham cracker rim. I think our preparation for it was done well. I do like that we're getting to taste the spirit beforehand now, right? So you guys have a little upper hand in comparison to what we did. You know, this is all like a learning curve, right? So we essentially got to pre-batch. We had non-alcoholic and we had an alcoholic option as well. In terms of preparing for the guests, it was like you're working in the service well, except you're just cranking the same drink over and over and over again. You can do it with your eyes closed. And what I really loved about it is I felt like I was at work, because people are coming up to try my drink and I'm telling you all about it. And there's a smile on my face. I'm happy. I'm engaging. It's honestly much more fun than work, because it's just easy. Like, people are so excited to taste what you have.
They did have a secret move that they pulled out.
Oh yeah, I had a fire pit. It was super cool. Yeah, I know. It's actually in my car right now still. I haven't taken it out.
This is a year and a half ago, 2 years maybe.
I know, mind your business. It was a little fire pit, and we lit it on fire. We had some marshmallows, and we toasted the marshmallows for our guests right in front of them. We wanted to make it as interactive as possible, and it was a success. We didn't win, but we still had so much fun doing it.
They also had another secret move. They brought their own glassware.
Oh yeah, I brought my own glassware. We got our own shakers. We literally brought everything to prepare us. And because of the fact that I have done the speed rails before, it was at the old FOA. I knew the well setup. I knew what we had, and I wanted to be prepared for myself. And it was so cute because the jars that we had, they're little mini mason jars, and it really was just selling that campfire theme. So I feel like I kind of had an upper hand because there was people coming in from Austin, right? They've never been here before, and this is 5 minutes away from my job. So I feel like I knew what I had to bring. I knew what to do to set myself up for success. We were the first people there. If you're not 5 minutes early, you're late, you know? So it was great. Like, I felt like we did have an advantage, but that's just because the more you like involve yourself within these activities, the better you're going to prepare yourself for the future.
Dope, man.
Question?
You brought glassware for all the guests?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so I got lucky with my job. You know, I call myself like the people's princess at my job, and I just asked our chef, and he's like, yeah, so I just took them. There were these cute little mason jars that we used on the menu, and we had like up to 40, 50 of them. So we took them, and luckily we had the help from the bartenders at FAO, and they were running our glassware through, walking around, picking them up. And we literally never ran out of glassware, and it was pretty nice. And even if we were going to run out of glassware, there were still some there that we could use, but being able to use those mason jars really like helped tell our story. So
it really puts in your mind like how every layer of the customer experience is really what's going to contribute to it. The glass or the straw, the smell, obviously the presentation as you're making the drink, all of that stuff. Yeah, you could come to Craft Clash and just have your little bucket and empty a sample and hand it out like it's a Costco, but the people who are going to win they're going to come up with some ways we haven't thought of yet.
Yeah, so it's like being able to, what I had a partner, right? So every time someone would come up, I'm the face. I'm telling you about what's going on, and she's cranking out the drinks left and right, and then I'm also doing the marshmallow toasting. So I would have my marshmallows, hand it to the guests, and I'm actually letting them light it on fire. As long as they don't burn down the building, I'm cool with it. And it was super interactive. It was super fun. Just be prepared. If you have any questions, definitely ask them. Yeah.
Now he's like, yo, do I need to bring another person here? Like, does somebody owe me a favor? I mean, you can. You do whatever you want to do, man. It's like, look.
Industry friends here. Somebody will help. Somebody will help.
That's one of the things. Like, I mean, that's the good thing about speed rails. And these people right here, and anybody who wins, they look at the rules and they find the things that I didn't say. Right. That's the game. Gotcha. What are the things that I'm not saying? But I'll let Adrienne introduce herself and your experience.
Hi, my name is Adri. I currently work at Donna's over in the Heights. I've been there since the opening team. It has been a whirlwind. I don't know if you guys just have ever been, but highly recommend. We actually just recently did a menu flip, so I'm super excited. We're going to get our asses whooped this weekend for white linen. I don't know if you guys are working, but if you have the chance, definitely come out and see us struggle. Competing has been a very interesting experience for me. As you can see, it's very male dominated. Oh yeah. A lot of competitions I've done personally, I've almost always been the only female. So we have two here. You guys are some bad bitches. I'm excited to see what you girls have to bring to the table, as well as our lovely gentlemen, of course. Me personally, the day of competition, it's all about prep. It even starts the day before. Making sure I'm sleeping well, making sure that I have talking points. Anything can go wrong while you're up here. You have to be prepared. You also have to know how to recover. You could be making a cocktail. You accidentally knock over one of your bottles. There's your batch. How do you recover? How do you move on from that? Do you have extras? Are you speaking clearly enough for the judges to hear you that are far away? And also, is everyone in front of you engaged? What does your cocktail look like? Is it balanced? Again, day before, you really want to start kind of fine-tuning what you're going to say, or if not, just having talking points. I myself have been up here, and 5 minutes before, I'm like, oh shit, everything goes out the window, and you're just kind of winging it. You're figuring it out. Again, you're seeing who's engaged, and just kind of go from there. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Ultimately, everyone is here to enjoy the experience. Everyone is here to support you. All of your competitors are here to have fun as well. So, have fun with it. Ultimately, we're all here for the same thing, and it's for the love of craft cocktails. And
what is your process when it comes to creating your oral presentation to the judges? I feel like you might have a formula. What is it?
You know what? I just have fun. For me, the judges are my friends. I want them to feel comfortable. I want them to understand my take on the cocktail and why I chose to go that route. So, perhaps maybe you are someone who has more of a refreshing palate, right? Why did you go a certain route with your palate? Who are you trying to engage? Who is this cocktail for? When I start building cocktails for a menu or anywhere I work, or in places where I have been the person behind the scenes making the drinks, I think about, who is this cocktail for? Who's going to be ordering this drink? The success of a drink is not always what's inside of it. A bartender might appreciate that there's 10 different ingredients, but the average person, the person you are wanting to buy this cocktail, they just care whether or not this drink tastes good. The success of a drink is sometimes, again, not what's in it, but whether or not the guest will purchase a second one. So, I myself have bitten myself in the ass before, where I'm competing and I'm creating a cocktail that might be a little bit too complex for the average consumer. That ultimately does go down to scoring. Again, the people in the crowd are going to be voting as well. If you make a cocktail that maybe is a little bit too difficult for them to grasp, ultimately that will affect your score and whether or not you walk away as a winner. So kind of keep that in mind as well. I certainly do whenever I'm creating cocktails. Again, it is nice to kind of have something that has more advanced techniques, more different flavors going on, but ultimately the goal is for the cocktail to still taste good.
Hi, my name is Dustin. I met John after being a competitor in the Houston Speed Rails 2 years ago.
2025.
2025.
Year and a half, yeah.
Yeah. And then ended up winning the Houston one. And I almost burnt down the bar at FAO with my cocktail from the craft portion. I incorporated fire. I went way too heavy on the 151. We couldn't put it out. But anyway,
But he had an astronaut suit on, so he was safe.
You were dressed as an astronaut?
I was dressed as an astronaut.
And you
So the criteria was I forgot what the brand of mezcal was.
Viviente Mezcal.
So that was the mezcal, but it also had to incorporate Houston culture. Well, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, but Houston's called Space City. And so I incorporated Tang because Tang was created or formulated for astronauts. And so I was like, well, we're going to do like a launch off. So I had the glass inside the saucer, and then I poured one, did a fire thing and sprinkled cinnamon, and then did the countdown. And it was really cool until the fire would not go out. Like, you couldn't blow it out, you couldn't put water on it, you couldn't do anything. Anyway, long story short, won the Houston thing, went on to win the Texas one, and
So yeah, this is our 2025 best bartender in Texas, and more importantly, he is a serial bartender competition addict.
Yeah,
how many competitions have you been in, and how many have you won?
I've won 6, but I've been in probably like 20. I don't know. I don't even know. Over 12, but maybe less than 20.
And this is a guy, he owns 5 or 6 bars. 6 bars out there in Bryan, Texas. Also married with kids, so he's a guy who's still making time to do these things because I think at the end of the day it makes you a better professional.
You can have the best drink in the world, but if it doesn't meet the criteria, you won't win. So that's what I was trying to tell people before. Like, just because you think the drink is awesome, and not trying to go off of what you're saying, in a bar setting, as far as being a bartender, yes, you want that customer to order that drink more than once. But in a bartending competition, if it's sponsored by Waterloo Gin and you have 30 ingredients in it and you can't taste the fact that it's Waterloo Gin, you'll be points taken off. Doesn't mean your drink is bad. Your drink could be the best drink. Then 99% of people will be like, that's the best drink. But if it doesn't meet the criteria, you won't win. Okay, so just one of those things to go off of.
Yeah, he's ex-military also, so he's like, this is what the rules say. So I had a chance he was a judge in one of our other competitions, and he's like, man, I love this drink, but
I feel so bad every time. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I love this drink, but it's a 2 because it doesn't meet the criteria. So,
and one of the things that he ended up, when the state championship of Speed Rail was a craft competition, and we ended up using Iron Wolf Hot Scotch. It was a cinnamon whiskey.
Butterscotch whiskey.
Butterscotch something, right?
Butterscotch and
pepper.
hot peppers, yeah. It was weird. Oh, man, it was so hard to work with.
Walk us through your decision on how you created that cocktail, as well as the day of the presentation and all that.
It's extremely sweet if you ever had it, and you get like a little heat on the back end. And so I knew immediately as soon as I tasted it, I was like, everyone's going to go dessert cocktail. So I went the complete opposite and tried to go savory. And so I did almost like a Bloody Mary thing. Being from New Orleans, if you ever heard of the Trinity, which is like bell peppers, onions, celery. That's in every Cajun or Creole dish. So I did a red bell pepper juice, and I did a celery salt tincture, and then I did a shrub of different peppers, like Tabasco peppers and cayenne peppers, and I used apple cider vinegar and turbinado sugar into that, and I went complete savory with it. And I thought mine was, really good, but it didn't meet the criteria. It met the criteria. There was no criteria for that one, other than I had to use the whatever. But it was.
It was audience vote, and I mean, the other person, she was a killer.
Yeah, Raya, who I had to compete against for she was the winner of San Antonio Speed Rails, but her presentation was insane. Also had fire, and but she did like flash paper and everything else like that.
Pictures of the judges.
Yeah.
She went and took pictures of the judges, put them on some type of edible paper.
Yeah.
That when she delivered the cocktail, she set it on flame. Mm-hmm. Bam! Who doesn't like seeing pictures of themselves? As well as she had like some little foam that she put on top that had like red wine in it. Mm-hmm. All these on YouTube, like everything. All of this whole lineage is available. But I mean, that was just another good example of like, maybe if you look at the rules, you realize like, I know I can get a 5 on this right here. Let me focus on that because that is my strength over here. All right, let me just make sure that I'm passing on it. Or do you go after all fives on everything? What are your thoughts on that?
Like I said, just kind of know what the judge is looking for and really try to amplify those things.
All right. To wrap up, what is your favorite drink to drink?
My favorite drink to drink?
Yeah.
I'm a rum guy, personally, so just a old school daiquiri.
Okay. How about yourself? Wait. Give me a mic.
Oh, sorry.
I am a dirty martini girl, like nobody's business, but vodka always, and bourbon. And it's funny because I actually hate gin. I despise gin, so good luck.
My favorite cocktail is a mezcal old fashioned. I like spirit forward, I like boozy, I like strong, very low sugar. But I also really like refreshing cocktails as well. Again, if it's refreshing, more on the citrusy side, for sure, less sugar. I like tasting the spirits for sure.
Well, there you guys go, man. All in all, these are your judges. Follow them on social media. Go see them at their bars. Thank you.